Egypt's foreign minister rejects any division of Gaza. Spain's ambassador in Cairo praises Egypt's role in ending the conflict in Gaza. And the Israeli army says it struck Hezbollah weapons depots in southern Lebanon. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati says there is no room for any discussion of dividing Gaza, urging an immediate move to implement the second phase of President Donald Trump's Gaza plan. Abdulati said the plan has no alternative and expressed hope that President Trump and the U.S. side will move forward with implementation. He said the plan was set up to succeed and be applied on the ground, adding that Egypt is working toward that goal through ongoing communication with the American side. Abdulati reiterated Egypt's rejection of any proposals aimed at fragmenting Gaza. Spain's ambassador in Cairo says Egypt is a major, reliant, trusted partner, praising its role in efforts to end the conflict in Gaza. Ambassador Sergio Carranza said Egypt plays a pivotal role in promoting peace and stability in the Middle East. He also highlighted Egypt's strategic partnership within the Euro-Mediterranean region and what he described as Egypt's growing influence across Africa, calling Cairo a key partner in regional security and diplomacy. Israeli media are reporting the death of Yasser Abu Shabab, described as commander of an armed group of eastern Palestinian Rafah, who has said he cooperated with Israel in recent months. Israel's Channel 14 reported Abu Shabab was killed in eastern Palestinian Rafah. Israeli journalistic sources said Hamas was reportedly behind the killing, describing it as an assassination. Abu Shabab has previously said he was cooperating with the Israeli army inside Gaza against Hamas. There has been no immediate independent confirmation in the account provided of the circumstances of his death, as tensions persist on the ground in southern Lebanon. Several areas in the Gaza Strip saw sweets being distributed to celebrate the killing of Yasser Abu Shabab, the leader of militias cooperating with Israeli forces in Rafah, southern Gaza. Videos circulated showing Palestinian youth handing out sweets to passerbyers. Hebrew and Arab reports confirmed Abu Shabab's death. He had led the Popular Forces organization, though accounts differ on who was responsible for his killings. Palestinian sources say Israeli airstrikes hit western Khan Yunis in southern Gaza, killing 6 civilians, including 2 children. Reports say Israeli strikes targeted western areas of Khan Yunis with multiple missiles, leaving several people dead and others wounded. Palestinian medical sources were quoted as saying 6 civilians were killed, including 2 children. There is no immediate Israeli comment on the account provided on the reported strikes and casualties. Palestinian woman was killed and others injured by Israeli gunfire in the Tufaha neighborhood east of Gaza City. Palestinian sources reported that Israeli forces opened fire with automatic weapons on a group of residents in Tufaha, resulting in the death of 1 woman and injuries to others. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has announced Major General Roman Goffman as the new head of the Mossad and says Israel has identified the body of a Thai worker, pledging to recover the remains of the last Israeli detainees still in Gaza. Netanyahu said Goffman will lead Israel's foreign intelligence agency, praising his military career and what he described as bravery on October the 7th. He also said Israel has received and identified the body of the Thai agricultural worker. Netanyahu added that Israel remains committed to retrieving the body of an Israeli detainee, slain police officer Wayne Gibeli, whom he described as the latest detainee still in Gaza. And for more analysis, we now move on to Mona Msalhi in our newsroom. Mona?
Thank you so much, Ron. And for further analysis, we're joined from Cairo by international relations expert Mohammed Al-Yamani. Good evening to you, sir, and welcome to Qnews. And let me start by asking you, what do you have on the killing of Abu Shabab in the Gaza Strip?
Good evening to you and to everyone who's watching. Actually, Abu Shabab being killed, this who has been working for Israel and for Netanyahu. Let me say that the killing of this horrible person actually has an effect on Israel, because actually Netanyahu was counting on these factions to fulfill his division dream and project. As we know, Abu Shabab and also Netanyahu, they both have criminal charges. Actually, Netanyahu has criminals of Abu Shabab actually escaped after being held, and then he was being taken advantage of in the Gaza Strip. And then also they were counting on something that's even more important. They wanted to achieve some of their goals, but without using arms and military operations. You know, they don't want to be that clear. And of course, they would use this traitor instead, but actually Abu Shabab failed to achieve what they wanted, because the Gazans and the resistance factions are way smarter and more aware, and the Gazans are also very aware, because as I just mentioned in my first point, they have some internal conflicts, and they wanted to divide the Gazans and to have some kind of conflict and some kind of civil war. They actually planned this agent to also steal the humanitarian aid that was sent to the Gazans when he was there, and even throughout the past period. And these are news. When it comes to the Israeli occupation forces, they just choose some people to work for them. and to achieve their goals for them. And so here, this is a new loss here for Israel. And personally, I hope they encounter more of these fails and can encounter more most of their projects as well, because they cannot use this on the media. And then also when they sent Abu Shabab to the Gaza Strip, when anything happened with the resistant factions, we saw the killings of some of the officials and so on. And so here, actually, they use it on the Israeli media, and they manipulate some of the news actually.
Right. From your point of view, do you think Israel would escalate its airstrikes on Gaza in response to the killing of Yasser Abu Shabab?
That's such an amazing question. Actually, here in this context, this question is very important. What Abu Shabab's killing means is actually it actually means that Israel is going back to what they usually do, the aggressions and the military operations on the Gaza Strip. But what prevents Israel from going back to how things were exactly is the agreement that they have signed, and the U.S. Of course, especially with President Donald Trump's administration, we've seen violations and lots of killings in the Gaza Strip and in some neighboring cities, even to the Gaza Strip. But in spite of all of this, Israel didn't go back to the full-on road war that they were having last year and this year also, and then also before the Sharm el-Sheikh agreement. And then my third point here has to do with Israel. Are they sending some other people to be their agents, or are they trying to get the environment ready so that they can achieve some of their projects and have some wins? Because after Abu Shabab's killing here, this was a card that they have lost actually, and so of course they have more up their sleeves. And then also here, Israel is attacking more than one country now. Syria, the West Bank, Gaza, Lebanon. We cannot forget what's happening in the West Bank. But here, since we're talking about Abu Shabab's killing, then it is such a hard strike for Israel. I'm not exaggerating when I'm talking about his killing. No, it is that important for them. And still Israel will use this actually against the Gazans and against the resistance factions in the Gaza Strip. And so it is time that the resistance uses this as leverage, not allow Israel to do so. And then something else that the Israeli Prime Minister has actually talked about, he said that before moving on to phase 2, then they need to, or Hamas needs to hand them or their detainees and the bodies. And then he also said that he's concerned about 3 things. He is concerned about the resistance, rearming themselves, and then he said that he thinks that the resistance factions are actually taking advantage of this quiet now.
Right.
To
Netanyahu's or the Israeli Prime Minister's claims and pretexts are too much to be discussed here. From Cairo, that was Mohammed Amani, international relations expert. We thank you so much for joining us here on Q News. And back to you, Rana, to our studios.
Thank you very much, Mona. And now we move on to U.S. President Donald Trump, who welcomes the leaders of Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo to sign a peace agreement.
The countries where we discussed the importance of upholding this new agreement, very detailed, powerful agreement. I also want to thank several foreign guests and dignitaries in attendance to celebrate this magnificent event, including the President of Angola. Please, would you stand and So great to see you. Thank you. The President of Burundi, thank you very much. Great to see you again. The President of Kenya. We have the Olympics here. You know, they do very well in the Olympics, those runners. I don't know what the heck you do with those runners, but they are very good. I've been watching them for a long time. So we have the Olympics coming to the United States. You know that. Thank you very much. And you'll come as our guest. Thank you. And the President of the Council of Ministers of Togo. Thank you. Thank you very much. The Vice President of Uganda. Thank you. It's such a beautiful color. Like all these guys are wearing these dark suits. You just stand out for a lot of reasons. You're beautiful. The foreign ministers of Qatar. Thank you. Thank you very much. Say hello to my friend, a great man. And the United Arab Emirates. Thank you. Thank you. My regards, right? And the chairman of the African Union Commission, who's done a fantastic job, and thank you for all your help. We appreciate all your help. A special group of people. A very special thanks as well to Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Marco, please stand. Thank you. And thank you for putting a certain name on that building. I said, boy, that is beautiful. That blew up last night. They said, that's a great honor. It really is. On this building, it's a great honor. Thank you very much. I assume you had a lot to do with that. Just a little bit. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. And Senior Advisor for Africa, Masad Boulos, who's been fantastic. Thank you, Masad. All of these people, every one of them were indispensable in forging this agreement. Let me also recognize Senators Mike Rounds and Lindsey Graham. Lindsey, thank you. Mike, wherever you may be. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Representatives Ronnie Jackson. Where's Ronnie? Ronnie is a great guy. He won his race in Texas by 48 points, right, Ronnie? So I don't have to ask if he's in any, I don't even have to endorse him anymore. It doesn't matter. Save the paper, right? Great job. Chris Smith. Chris? Thank you, Chris. Great. Good job. Trent Kelly. Trent? Thank you very much. Thank you. And the acting president of the Institute for Peace, Darren Beatty. Thank you, Darren, very much. Thank you very much, Darren. For more than 30 years, one of the worst conflicts on earth has been raging in eastern Congo. Millions and millions of people have been tragically killed, went on forever, and countless more have been displaced from their homes. Families have been destroyed. It's been a disaster. Many administrations have tried, but probably not too hard, knowing who preceded me. But they tried. It says they've tried. But we tried harder to end this conflict. But they've accomplished, obviously, they accomplished very little because the killing went on at levels that just got worse and worse. And today we're succeeding where so many others have failed. And this has become the 8th war that we've ended in less than 1 year. Such an exciting thing to do. This has been a really, because we're talking about 30 years of fighting, 30 years, much more than 10 million lives. Last June, thanks to the efforts of Secretary Rubio and Mr. Boulos, Rwanda and the DRC reached a landmark agreement to move toward peace. They started the process. I met with some of their great representatives who are here also. And we started a great process. The compact we're signing today, which will be known as the Washington Accords, everybody sort of liked that name, formalizes the terms agreed to in June, including a permanent ceasefire, the disarmament of non-state forces, provisions for refugees to return to their homes, and justice and accountability for those who have committed illegal atrocities. Very importantly, this agreement also creates a new framework for economic prosperity. There's tremendous wealth in that beautiful earth. It's beautiful earth. But it was stained badly with blood, tremendous amounts of blood, but in the region that will support a lasting peace. And the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Rwanda have agreed to more closely integrate their economies with each other rather than fighting, and they'll be doing that. And these two gentlemen are very smart, and I think they liked each other a lot. I spent time with them. I think they liked some people may be surprised. I really do. I think they've spent a lot of time killing each other, and now they're going to spend a lot of time hugging, holding hands, and taking advantage of the United States of America economically like every other country does. So they're going to do very well. But they do have some very valuable things. They're going to have a lot of money and a lot of success. And I think they're going to get along really well. So I hope so. Thank you very much. Look at them. Look at the way they love each other. Thank you. So I have a lot of confidence in both leaders. We'll keep these commitments. I know they're going to keep them and follow through on the agreement and create a much brighter future for the people of their countries. And they're heroes within their countries because of today. This is a big story. And so much is being written and said. All of the newscasts have it at the top of the list. And they are heroes, and we want to keep it that way. Today, the United States is also signing our own bilateral agreements with the Congo and Rwanda that will unlock new opportunities for the United States to access critical minerals and provide economic benefits for everybody. And we'll be involved. We're sending some of our biggest and greatest companies over to the two countries, and we're going to take out some of the rare earth and take out some of the assets and pay, and everybody's going to make a lot of money. These are just two of the many new agreements related to mineral supplies that my administration has achieved this year, including with Australia, Japan, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, South Korea, and many other countries. With all of these agreements, we're forging new economic security partnerships that protect the interests of America and our friends and partners, and a core feature of my administration's national security strategy, a big part of which is the tariffs. We're taking in trillions of dollars in tariffs. Nobody's ever seen anything like it, and it's given us really great national security. We'll be paying down debt, making distributions to people, and we're really doing a job. It's amazing. I was with a gentleman, the future king of Saudi Arabia, and you've heard me say this a couple of times, but 2 months ago when I was over there, he said, and actually Qatar is represented today, and UAE is represented, and your leader said the exact same thing, different words, but the exact same thing, that 1 year ago they thought our country was dead, and now our country is the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're the hottest country anywhere in the world. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. We have over $18 trillion, that's just in 10 months, pledged or being invested or pledged to be invested in the United States. Think of that, 18 trillion. The highest amount we've ever had is 1.5. Under the Biden administration, they did much less than 1 in 4 years. Think of that. So they did less than 1 trillion in 4 years. We have 18 trillion in 10 months. It's going to be much more than that, too. No other country in history has ever been close, no matter what country you pick. So I want to thank you again, everybody, for your great vision, and I want to thank the people, especially the people that we named. Some of the others that unfortunately we didn't name, we just couldn't do that. But for your vision and for your courage, because it's made it possible to begin healing old wounds and transcending past differences and creating a future where every child of God can live in dignity, prosperity, and peace. And these are two very good men, and they're two potentially very strong countries. I'd like to now invite President Kagame to come up and say a few words. It's Rwanda. And then, if I may, President of DRC, who really is doing a great job. These are two men that are doing a great job. And again, they are so respected because of what they're doing today and the mission that they've really, I think, accomplished. And we'll see how it all works out, but I think it's going to work out really great. They want to get on to other ways of living for their people, and they're great leaders. Thank you very much. Please, Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Excellency Donald Trump, President of the United States of America, Excellencies, heads of state and government and former heads of state, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to begin with some words of thanks. First, to my fellow heads of state and government from Africa, your presence here confirms that these efforts enjoy the broad support necessary to succeed. I also thank Minister of State Khulaifi, representing His Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad of Qatar. The role of Qatar has been absolutely central in getting us to this point. But of course, the biggest vote of thanks goes to President Donald Trump. No one was asking President Trump to take up this task. Our region is far from the headlines. But when the President saw the opportunity to contribute to peace, he immediately took it. This conflict has lasted for 30 years. We have seen countless mediations and efforts, but none has succeeded in resolving the underlying issues. President Trump introduced a new and effective dynamism that created the space for breakthroughs. His approach is even-handed, never taking sides. He orients us toward the future, not the past, emphasizing that the dividend of peace is prosperity and investment, including from the United States. More importantly, President Trump's approach is pragmatic. The process has not become an end in itself. All of these elements filter down to his dedicated team, and here I want to single out Secretary Rubio and Massad Boulos for special appreciation. We would not be here today.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we saw just moments ago, President Donald Trump welcomed the leaders of Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo to the White House and said the agreement tackled a crisis many U.S. administrations had tried and failed to resolve. He highlighted the human cost, saying millions had died and families had been displaced, voiced confidence in both leaders and said the deal would unlock new minerals agreements for the United States, as he also claimed the United States had become the hottest country in the world. Rwandan President Paul Kagame said the conflict has lasted for 30 years and had seen countless mediation efforts, adding that none had succeeded in resolving it except U.S. President Donald Trump. The Israeli army announced it attacked Hezbollah weapons depots in southern Lebanon, stating it continues to act to eliminate any threats. The army said the presence of Hezbollah armed depots violates agreements between Israel and Lebanon, prompting the strikes in the south. That brings us to the end of our news bulletin, but before we wrap up, here's a recap of the top story making headlines this hour. Egypt's foreign minister rejects any division of Gaza. Spain's ambassador in Cairo praises Egypt's role in ending the conflict in Gaza. And the Israeli army says it struck Hezbollah weapons depots in southern Lebanon. That brings us to the end of our news bulletin. For more stories and live updates, follow Qnews on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok at QNewsEG. From all the team here, I thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for more news and analysis on Qnews. And from me, myself, Ron Khostos, thank you very much for watching, and all the team here. To this ends our transmission for today. Until we meet you again tomorrow at 4 p.m. Cairo local time, it's goodbye.